I've been put in a very fortunate position where, I'm doing pretty good. Like, I don't worry about where my next rent check is coming from.
Yeah.
I don't have a wife. I don't have kids right now. I have time. Like, this is the time where I can, because when the time comes to have a family, like, obviously I want to focus on that. But right now, I do have the time, and I do have the means. I have the following. I have the ability. I'm like, shit. I feel like a calling, like an obligation to it, where I will always regret if I had the chance now to make a difference without it having a negative impact on my family, and I chose to not do it. I think that would haunt me for the rest of my life. And I feel that more strongly now after the first cycle where it was proven that I did have a shot, where we came that close. And yeah, I know it's interesting. I don't know how I would describe that. Like, is it good for me financially? No. Like, is it good for me in any way? Like, between opportunity cost, the sponsors that won't work with me now that I'm political, just all these things. Absolutely not. I'm losing money hand over fist doing this. But I'm in a position where I can. And that's something I might not be in again. So
That's your mark you want to leave. It's like, hey, let me at least try to do the right thing for your beliefs.
And I'm not trying to like compare it to military service. This is kind of the way it comes off as, but like I genuinely mean this in the purest sense of the word. Is I think that this is the way that I can best serve my country.
Yeah.
Where like I see a trajectory that the country is on, both fiscally, constitutionally, and I'm like, man, that needs to be corrected now, or it might be too late later. So I had a lot of amazing opportunities that were given to me by this country and the people who came before me, and I want to make sure that my kids have that, and their kids have that. And so if I can just be another, brick in the wall of holding this dam together, so that future generations can enjoy what I had the privilege of growing up in, I'm all for it.
I think I will always say again, something like that is that different. I don't hold it lesser for serving your country. It's equal to me. It's just in a different capacity, because how many people can do that? And then especially a lot of people can do it. Do it honestly without selling out, and then stand by your conviction for it is the rare thing. That's the one where it's very rare. So that's where I see it as, hey, you like war or whatever. This is equally just on a different front, but as important or more important, because it's like, hey, we're just defending what this is happening over here. Here's the Constitution. We got to defend it. We defend our America, blah, blah, blah. We're supposed to, at least. But
It's a nice idea.
yeah.
Good goal.
Yeah. R.I.P. Cheney.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where it's so important, and then it's just a rarity to have somebody that is not needing it or not wanting it, because that is what I truly believe America needs. It's not I'm chasing this was my dream.
I hate that. Those are the scariest words to hear from like a prospective politician. Is, oh, I've always wanted to do this. I'm like, why? All right, that's a red flag, because that means you've always just wanted to have power, or you've always like looked up to the office, which is like those are not good traits.
No, you're not doing it. You're not being like I've always wanted to be in Congress, a senator, a president. Why? No, why? Because that's a very important role. Did you want to make change? Like, or you just wanted the position?
That, and like what did you do before this? Is that's always been curious to me, how many people that can't even succeed on their own, but they know how to run a country. Like, no, and there's two sides of that. One is I think you should be able to prove base level competence, and that doesn't just come from succeeding in business or whatever it is that we're doing, but like that could even be like successful military service, like Sheehy.
Yep.
Like Tim Sheehy, talking to him, he had successful entrepreneurial success and military success to a great degree. Awesome human, right? I just want to see people succeed at stuff before they decide to start telling other people how to live. Because that that's concerning to me. How many people just like, oh well, I was a community organizer. Like, neat.
At what level?
What,
Bare minimum? How do you relate?
I don't know that. Yeah, that's one side of it. Is yeah, I want you to be prove that you are competent and you know how to at least steer a ship like this in the right direction. The other side of it is I want you to have succeeded on your own so that you didn't need this. You don't need a career. You don't need the pension. You're not using this as a way to climb the ladder for your own stock portfolio, for your insider trading or whatever, because this is how you were going to make a quick buck, sell some books, do whatever. Like for me, this has been a massive money pit because I put my money where my mouth is because I truly believe in it.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, it's a way to make a buck. And I think the attitude, if you talk to these people, the attitudes are very apparent.
Mm-hmm. It's not being in DC a couple of times. You just get to see the difference. And like the best way to explain it's the fakeness. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Oh, ooh.
It reminds me of LA.
Yes. Yes.
I hate both of them. I hate DC and LA. One of the funnier things I was told by somebody was, like growing up, like in high school, theater kids go to LA and ugly theater kids go to DC.
Oh, I hate that.
Like, man, that resonated with me really hard. Like,
Like,
son of a bitch. That's completely true in my experience.
Fortunately, it's a wild thing to want to do that, and it's the problem. That's why it's like super respectful for your position. Like, oh, hey, I'm doing this because X, Y, and Z. And now, oh, look, Tony is doing all the piece of shit stuff or in whatever way he can. And it's just not, hey, what does this general area think? How do they feel about it? And he just looks at it as a national level. It's like, oh, well, what's popular on California or wherever? It's like, oh, this is here.
Not even that. It's like just so many of the things that he's done is just motivated by either just like personal traumas or money or, wherever his donors tell him to go or wherever he can suck up to more donors. It's whenever you get that big money involved, I don't trust you.
And I don't think people realize that's one thing. I truly believe your average person doesn't understand that or the money that those big sponsors or donors will do. And this is like, I mean, how much is a big donor? Like, do you think the average?
To like super PACs and stuff like that? Yeah. I mean, it can go from, just $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 all the way up to several million.
For a single donor,
depending on what kind of race, because like the like a congressional race like mine, you're capped out at I forget the exact number. It's like counting in victory funds, things like that. It's like 3,400, or like it can go up to like 12,000 or something. But once you get super PACs involved, it's just a way of bundling money, where the candidate can't directly use it. They call them smoke signals. Like there's ways that whoever's in charge, they can signal where they want it spent or they can figure it out on their own. But you can just bundle millions of dollars in all these big PACs. And like the amount of money that's involved in politics like that would blow the average person's mind. Because it's one thing to know, oh, big money's there. Okay, cool. But if you saw in certain races.
What was the Montana for just the senator, right?
Yeah, Senate race for Sheehy.
Yeah, I think he said how much was that? That one race.
I think the Democrats spent trying to flip that seat or trying to retain that seat and take out Sheehy. I believe the Democrats spent $325 million on that one seat last cycle.
$325 million. And
in mine, they spent $13 million against me in a primary. Yeah. It wasn't even a general election.
Nope. And that's where I don't think your average person understands that. And I truly believe if your average person knew that, they would be, I think it makes a huge difference. It's like, whoa, what the f-?
Also, there's something I'm trying to draw attention to right now that Tony, my opponent, Tony Gonzalez, he's using that I don't think most people know is a thing. And I think we talked about this briefly a couple weeks ago. he's using a certain amount of taxpayer allocated funds to do political advertising, like putting up billboards and sending out mailers like, look at what a great job your congressman is doing. Message from your congressman. Like that should be illegal. Like
How isn't it?
Because you're communicating directly to your constituents. It's one of the many advantages of incumbency is you're communicating like, oh, this is what's happening in your town, in your district. But a lot of it's just
paid for you by you.
yes. And so they're spending, on one mailer, you're going to spend thousands of dollars putting this out to primary voters and shit like that. It's just disgusting. Like the amount of that one's particularly egregious because it's not even shady DC money, which is obviously bad, but it's your money. My money is being taken to campaign against me. What the
Which is way worse. Always in my head is like, hey, this is the worst possibility is here is money and here's like money you're giving, unfortunately, which we created a new country to not do that. And we're like, well, let's start at 1%, but we won't put a cap on it. It was like 1911, 14. When was that?
Yeah, it was the institution of the federal income tax. It was a constitutional amendment because it was, I believe it was in 1913.
1913. Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
I know it's in between 11 to 15, and I can't remember the exact year, but it was 1%. And then they just didn't put a cap on it. And we went from 0% to 1% to what, 40?
Yeah, it was 1913. Well, it was originally unconstitutional. It was specifically said that you cannot do tier, like you can't tax people that way. And then, of course, along comes multiple wars after that now that we can pay for. This is super cool. Now we can build up a military-industrial complex, something that Eisenhower warned us about. And funny story. Now that we're taxing people more, our debt didn't exactly get better. In fact, it's been since then
tremendously worse.
Yeah, that and the devaluing of our currency, where we went off the gold standard. We now don't get me started.
That's why it's like I respect everything that you're doing. It's just one world. Like my tism would flip shit and I'd be like, I do not like this. I cannot.
I'm freaked out when people say they do like it. Like there's certain elements of it that are kind of fun.
Yeah.
But in general, if you're like, oh my God, I enjoy just the inner working of DC politics. I'm like, you're a psychopath.
Yeah, just what we've talked about multiple times, even like the shady shit and like the lying or well, how do I make this person look bad? I will not do doesn't matter what the truth is. I don't give a shit about that. I'm going to use whatever I can to paint them in a negative light, which is, again, wild.
And in DC, that's several people, that's a few hundred people, a few thousand people's full-time job.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I don't give a shit what the truth is. I'm just going to figure out what I can use and twist against this person that sounds bad. That's their entire career.
Let me scrub up everything. I'm going to look at all aspects of their life and then use this against them. And then.
Yeah, marketing mercenaries.
Yeah. And then, oh, look, Brandon hates veterans or whatever it is. And you're like. And I think that was the most eye-opening for the guys. And. Even for me, it was holy shit. This dude made a joke that his veterans friends told him to make, and this
not even that reciting a joke that wasn't made.
It's saying you didn't make this joke, and they're like, oh no, but we can use this and really clip it out to show this one thing, and then you see it on. I think I showed you that one where even Reddit, that guy was like blah blah blah, and I was like, well, hold on, homie.
Because I mean, it's crazy because and that's where money becomes a big problem and stuff like this, is that especially in races like this, the truth doesn't matter as much as who has the money to push the message
and who can get that money, the message first. Doesn't matter.
Because if you lie about me and you spend enough money to put out 100 ads, let's just say, I'm using easy numbers, 100 ads on TV, and I am putting out a correction on that saying, that's a lie, here's the truth, and I can pay to put out 5 ads, guess what most people see? And that's just the shitty reality